Hello, everybody. So I want to talk about the sample exam. So you'll see here a copy of the sample exam, and you should be able to download a copy from the website. Um, so as you can see, the sample exam consists of a few questions, A, B, C, D, and E. So what I'm going to do is go over each question, read the question to you, and then show you how the question can be answered. And the actual exam will be pretty similar to the sample exam. So first question, question A. In Orange Beach, Alabama, there were 5,000 people living in 2005, and during that year there were 100 violent crimes. What is the probability that Aristeo, a random person living there, is the victim of a violent crime that year? Now, here I'm asking you to assume that each person can be the victim of one crime and no more than one crime. So it's not that one person is a victim of more than one crime. And some people are victim of no crime at all, and some people are victim of some crime. And you see that there were a total of 100 violent crimes, so 100 people were victimized out of a total of 5,000 people. I also want you to assume that each person is equally likely to be the victim of a crime absent any further information. So I'm making it very simple for you. And the question here is, what is the probability that a random person, so if you were to pick a person at random out of these 5,000 people living in Alabama in 2005, how probable would it be that that person would be the victim of a crime? Or in other words, that that person would be a victim, a person who has been victimized. Okay, so that's the question. How can you go about answering that question? So let me pull up the solution. Sorry. So let me pull up the solution. So here's the solution for question number 1. So 1 second, let me have the question on top right here, and then the solution here at the bottom. Okay. So here's the solution that you can see. So solution, we need to determine, oh, by the way, this solution, this file is also available on the website for you to download. So there should be no problem in finding it and reading through. So we need to determine the probability of that someone is the victim of a crime. And so here I wrote crime victim. This is just a name that I give, and we should think of this as a set, right? Because the event being the victim of a crime is represented mathematically as a set. I use this label crime victim just because it's easy to remember, but you can of course use any name you want. Now, if you remember, by definition, for any set alpha, for any set A, big A, we have that the probability of A is the number of elements in A divided by the number of elements in omega, where omega is the total number of, omega is the sample space. So in our case, omega is the set of people living in Orange Beach, Alabama, right? Because this is there is nothing in the case we're considering, there is nothing besides that. Okay. So the probability of the event being the victim of a crime, which is represented by essentially the set of all people who were victimized, is a division, is given by a division. You divide the number of elements in the set crime victim divided by the number of elements of the set, and here I call that people in Orange Beach, because that's essentially our sample space omega. And that is pretty straightforward. So if you go down here, you see that the number of people who were victimized is 100. This is given in the text of the problem. So there were 100 violent crimes, or in other words, there were 100 people who were victimized. And then the total number of people here are 5,000. And so you just do the division and you find out that it's 2%. So the probability I want to know about is 2%.